But if you have a Mark Andrews situation, you blame the players.
Yeah, let's actually go into that.
Okay, cool.
Right now,
All right.
I know you had a question about that.
I did, and that's actually a perfect segue for this question. And this guy is I would say he's a pretty decent Lamar fan. He was wearing his jersey and all that. You see the clips.
Yeah, I was.
So, and you know the answer, but I want to hear you not rant, but have your opinion. Is Lamar to blame for the loss? Honest answer. Look back at the game. Is he to blame for that loss, like the internet says he is?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Because he threw an interception and he fumbled. You can't turn it over.
I agree.
Simple as that.
I agree.
I mean, if you're going to win in the playoffs, and we just said that stat earlier, 3 turnovers by winning teams this postseason, 21 by losing teams this postseason. You're seeing it. Mm-hmm. I mean, the key to success is not turning over the football. And yes, did Mark Andrews drop the final pass? Yes, he did. And also he did fumble. But if Lamar Jackson does not turn over the football, the Ravens are not in that situation. They had 416 yards in that game on offense. And they were still hanging around, even turning over the ball 3 times. So, like, I don't know if that's more concerning for the Bills, because the fact that the Bills only beat them by 2 and they made no mistakes, that is kind of
a flag.
Alarming to me, because the
flag.
Ravens almost won.
Yeah.
And they almost tied the game.
I agree.
If it wasn't for that one mistake, we would have been talking about overtime in that game.
Absolutely. And I didn't think of it that way. But the reason why I don't highlight that too much is because we knew it was going to be a close game. We knew it was going to be a close game. We knew it was going to be a battle, back and forth. I mean, they both scored in the first possessions.
Yeah.
So you knew it was going to happen. It was going to be close. But like you said, it's who can make the less mistakes. Who cannot turn the ball over. You can't. It's very hard to win a football game and turn the ball over 3 times. And in the playoffs, when there are good teams who can execute, it's very little chance that they're not going to execute when they have a chance. And the Bills, they did. So,
and I'll say this.
That's a costly mistake for the Ravens.
I'll say this too, because John Harbaugh is on the hot seat, my opinion.
Okay.
Because this is the 2nd year in a row where he hasn't used his running back. And you've got Derrick Henry in the backfield, who's been unstoppable. And you don't even rush him for 20 carries. I mean, what are you doing? Like, you can't just, when you're playing behind, I get it. You want to throw the football, you want to do this and that. But when you have 3 minutes left on that final drive and you don't have Derrick Henry in the game, what is the point of going to get him?
I agree.
What is the point if you're not going to use him?
He's your moneymaker. You have to have him be in the game. We didn't really see him in that drive. Yes,
he's been the identity for them all year. That's why they were so good against Pittsburgh. He dominated against a team who arguably has a better defense than the Bills. So, like Derrick Henry has proven that it doesn't matter who's in front of him, he can dominate. And we saw it when he was on the Titans. He ran through the entire AFC.
He did.
And they just didn't use him. And even at the beginning of the game, they got away from him. They were throwing the ball.
So then that's where you blame the coaching in that scenario.
I think Harbaugh personally needs to be gone. I get he's done a great job. He's won a Super Bowl. But let's be honest, the Super Bowl was 12 years ago. Mm-hmm. That was a long time ago. And the NFL has changed drastically since then.
I agree.
You got to change. You got to find a new voice. Now, Ravens probably won't do it, but I remember at the beginning of the season, I listened to a Ravens podcast, and they were literally saying, this is the last year for John Harbaugh, in my opinion. And I agreed. If you can't get it done with Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson, I mean,
then what do you?
What else? I mean, how can you get better from that?
You really can't, because they have to use their greatest weapons, and that stat is true. When Henry rushes for 90+ yards, they're 11-0. He didn't rush 90 yards.
No,
he rushed for 84. Only 84 yards. And
like,
he didn't win.
Feed him, feed the man,
he
dude.
It's
just like the
yards,
Eagles.
Man.
We were just talking about it earlier.
Yep.
Why have the Eagles been so good in this postseason?
Because they rush Barkley.
Exactly.
They use Barkley in the backfield. They use him effectively.
And the Ravens were on that track.
Offense. Again, that's coaching. Nick Sirianni, sorry to say this, does a great job in using that combo.
Yeah, he does because he
Because
understands.
It's the same offense. Mobile quarterback, high power rusher. It's the same concept. Use it to your advantage.
And the Eagles have done it way better.
What's that?
The Eagles have done it way better.
Exactly.
I mean, Barkley looks like Barkley looks like he's not even getting touched on half of these plays. But like Derrick Henry to not get the football in the most important times of the game. I mean, I don't care how you get him the ball. Like you have to figure it out. Now I know Zay Flowers didn't play in this game. So, like, I know that was a big factor.
I agree.
But, like, the last time they played the Bills, he only had one catch. So,
and
like,
they beat them.
Right. So, like, he didn't even do anything in that game anyways.
Henry ran the ball. I mean, like
you cannot you can't find yourself in that situation. You just can't.
No.
You can't. Like, and the Ravens passing game is not all that insane. I mean, the talent is theirs to a certain degree. I mean, they have Mark Andrews, Zaya Likely, Bateman. But, like, outside of those three guys, who do they have?
Not really.
Nobody.
Really, we can really name
And you could honestly give Lamar credit for doing what he's done with the receiving core he's had.
Exactly. Like I said earlier, they were 2 points away from tying the game. And he still barely lost.
And they had no business being in this game, by the way.
I mean,
they had none.
No, it was
no reason at the end.
It was supposed to be close.
To turn around, but 3 turnovers, they had no business at being that close. They had no business. The Bills should have blown them out. Let's be honest.
Well, towards the end, and then they were thinking about going for it when they took the field goal. And when they took that field goal, they were contemplating whether to go for it. If they go for it and they get the first down and maybe score a touchdown, then yeah, it's pretty much blown out, and then we won't have this conversation. But they played it safe and then gave the Ravens opportunity to make something happen. That's why I wanted to ask you if you blame Lamar for the loss. I would say a bunch of Lamar fans, our friend James, I heard you call me on that.
But you can't just blame one person.
You out. Lamar did what we had to do, and I feel like you would agree with that. But did he have any costly moments in the game? Absolutely, like you mentioned.
But it's a team. It's a team game. Like that's why. Like obviously the quarterback's going to get the majority of the blame. 100%. I mean, they have the ball in their hands the most.
They are the players to make the plays. Besides running backs who have the other power to have, but the quarterbacks are the ones that execute. They read the defenses. They make the plays. They throw. They know whether they're going to hand the ball off or not. They take the play from the coach. It is their responsibility. Now, yes, you can't control their defense, and the defense held ground. Only 27 points to the Bills?
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty decent. I mean, only lost by 2.
Yeah.
I'm not crapping
but
on
I
the
also
Bills
think
here,
to tie this up, I think there's two sides of like the people blaming Lamar thing. Because I think what we just explained, yeah, obviously you blame Lamar. But I think what people are talking about is that last drive, that last throw to Mark Andrews, which obviously you can't blame him for that because he delivered a perfect ball.
And like I've been saying all year for my team, I mean, Caleb has put the Bears in scenarios where we have an opportunity to win the game because of his game-winning drive that he's put for us, but the team didn't execute. The same issue with Lamar. That's why I feel like in that scenario, it's hard to blame Lamar. But again, like I kept saying, 2 fumbles. Caleb doesn't fumble or throw interceptions that much, so I can say that.
And Lamar's now 3-5 in the postseason.
I can't get it done like that, man.
3-5 in the postseason.
It's not a good look. It's when you compare him to other quarterbacks, not compare, but just
and
look
that's
at
the second
other
time he's lost to the Bills too.
Exactly.
In the postseason.
Yeah. You gotta make something happen. That's all I gotta say. You look at other quarterbacks like Burrow and Mahomes. They make plays. They don't make mistakes. They execute. They do what they have to do. They lock in the greatest moments. Why is Lamar dropping the ball when he fumbled? Like, why?
That was the one I really didn't understand.
And who was he throwing to on the interception?
Yeah, there was no one around.
Right. Was it DeMar Hamlin who caught that, I believe?
I don't remember who exactly it was.
I'm not exactly sure.
I'll take your word for it. But
I could be wrong,
he threw it over. He threw it way over the receiver.
It's not a good throw. It's
not
a good throw.
No. And he honestly shouldn't have even had that bad of a ball. Like, looking at it, I mean, he had a perfect... The guy was pretty open.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
Yeah, I mean, he just didn't execute.
He was going to the sideline, and he literally had him open.
And he just overthrew him.
And then the fumble to me, I didn't really understand. Like you just go down. Just go to the ground. Like, in that situation, take the sack. There are certain situations in football where you need to stop trying to extend the play. When you're already wrapped up, stop extending.
And
just
that is
hold the ball.
exactly why I say what I say about Lamar. He tries to do too much in extended plays, and it costs him. What did it cost him? A fumble. That was costly. You don't see that from not most quarterbacks, but quarterbacks who execute and do what they have to do. Lamar tried to do too much. It made a mistake. He fumbled the ball. Costly. Bro,
and we just talked about Josh Allen, who's not making mistakes.
Exactly. He eliminated those mistakes. You have to get better and eliminate those mistakes.
Talk to me, baby. Talk to me nice. I'm from another world, baby, yeah. Broadway paradise. They think I'm way too cold, cause I put my